It is October 31st, 2017. This is the very last day of Crossroads Mall. People in central Oklahoma area will be very familiar with this place. It was one of the major shopping malls in Oklahoma in the 70s and 80s and even part of the 90s. When it was built in February 17th, I believe, is the day it opened, 1974.
You know the dates, I just came to shop.
There's the old J.C. Penney. This is the main entrance. That used to be the old Dillard's. Everything that you see that's painted a bright color, that was done when it was changed to, they called it Plaza Mayor. Tried to make it into sort of a Spanish-themed mall a few years ago when it changed hands after the original mall kind of went downhill. Everything that you see painted bright colors used to be painted brown. It was in the 70s a very, typical 70s modern building, everything in kind of brown and bronze and all that. So this was the main entrance, and up there on the grid, which was also painted brown back in the 70s, originally it had Crossroads Mall. It had a little cloverleaf symbol, and then it just said in block letters across there, Crossroads Mall. That was changed later to a kind of a red, white, and blue colored thing with a ribbon type emblem on it. That's what most people that shopped here from the 90s on remember. So here we go, showing it. It's fallen into quite a bad state of repair. All the paint is peeled up, and there's some bad light fixtures, bad ceiling leaks. You can see the U-Haul there and some other trucks parked under there. Everybody's packing up and leaving, getting ready to go. One thing I do want to show you here before we go on inside. This was one of the main, this was the main entrance, and look, the thing that kind of struck me was the rust on the door handles. And this thing that certainly would have been shiny when there were hundreds of people going in and out of it every afternoon.
I noticed that the last time
yeah,
we were here.
Isn't that crazy? And of course the ceiling is peeling and falling in some areas.
Was once upon a time you would have to walk through plate glass.
Yeah. Yes,
actually,
these used to be a second set of double doors, and these have been gone for a while. I don't know for how long.
So now you can walk through what used to be glass.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, something else here. Phone booth. Payphone booth. That's something you don't see anymore.
Mall management basically manages the emptiness of the mall.
Yeah.
There's nothing to manage.
The few little places that were left
People
open
still
are now
come to,
gone.
as any other mall, we notice, even though it hasn't been what it had been, people still come in the mornings and walk. So it still serves that purpose.
Now we're going to try the best we can to remember some of this stuff. We'll probably cheat and look at a couple of old photos on some of these things. Now I know for sure this used to be the, they called it Le Mans. It was a sporting center, arcade.
I'm thinking those lights.
The lights are original to the, yeah, the lights are original to the old arcade. It had a different entrance. It was closed in a little bit and had some tile columns and stuff. Yeah.
But the ceiling, I think it's the same.
I'm pretty much even the colors, the red and white in the flashing lights are original to that.
I don't think the new tenants would have, even over the years, even back in the early millennium, I don't think they would have expended that much money into changing.
No, I'm pretty sure that's original. Now back there's a platform, and I think that used to be go-karts, is what I heard.
Were there go-karts?
I don't remember that specifically, or maybe it was bumper cars, something like that.
I don't remember that.
But I mostly
I just don't.
We didn't go here as
deep,
yeah, we didn't go in here as small children. When in the 80s, when we were teenagers, we came in here. They had arcade games,
yeah.
And over here near the entrance, I remember there was a they called it Dragon's Lair, where it ran off of laser discs, and so it was like actually almost like an animated movie. That yeah, it was pretty cool. It's a classic now. Yeah, but Dragon's Lair machine was there. They had a Star Wars machine over there, a Journey video game there. All stuff that kids of the 80s will remember. Here's the J.C. Penney. Now, I understand that a couple of these anchors are going to stay open as other things. It says flea market. This is actually like they do an antique show and sale at the fairgrounds once a month, and they have moved out here. So they're actually going to be operating out of the old J.C. Penney.
Can you only enter
You
from
probably
the
can only enter
outside?
from the outside, I think, yeah. Boy, sure is pretty dead in here now. They're not even
Anybody
turning the
that
lights
shopped
on.
for Toys by Roy,
Yes.
used
Now,
to be
where was
right
Toys
here
by
in the
Roy?
corner.
Now, that was the hobby shop.
That was originally the hobby shop, but
Yes.
that was originally because when that's where the hobby shop moved to.
The
Are you sure?
no, this was the hobby shop. I'm pretty sure. I think this one right here.
I
in the
remember
corner.
that being the hobby shop, but I thought it used to be Toys by Roy.
Toys by Roy was more toward the center, I think.
Was it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Excuse me, folks.
Now, I don't know. You remember more than I do.
Well, no,
honestly, on most of this stuff.
I do remember because I went and bought some hobbies there, and so you're probably right. You know what? I think Toys by Roy is where KB Toys ended up.
I remember it was on the first floor, and then just
Okay, so
above
it's
it on
not-
the second floor was a KB Toys.
Okay, which came later.
Yeah, that came later. That was like 80s,
Because it was
I
just
think.
Toys by
Yeah,
Roy.
Toys by Roy was the only one
So
here
I don't
in the
remember
hobby
at all
shop.
where Toys by Roy is.
I don't remember the exact
remember.
location of it, but I remember it was on the first floor, and it was, I think, below the KB Toys. Now, up there you can see the yellow storefront, and I think that's
That
where
was
KB
KB
Toys
Toys.
was.
Yes.
So that means Toys by Roy was probably down here somewhere in one of these. But we're going on faulty old fart memories. And I'm getting over a cold, so I sound awful, and I am probably going to make some old man noises, so just, forgive me for that. But all these things like that, these toys and stuff that are here. The carousel was not there when we were growing up here. That came in probably in the, I don't know, maybe 90s. And the famous, the camera will focus, the skylights.
Actually, they brought this in the turn of the century.
Huh?
They brought that in at the turn of the century.
That's,
If memory serves. Because I don't remember seeing that in the name
This-
at all.
it probably so. It was probably early 2000s. Thing I kind of want to point out is there is this, you can see this impression in the floor. Now that, I'm pretty sure, is where the big fountain, wishing fountain came around. That was one of the things I remember the most.
Was it right here?
It was, I think it was right here. We had where the elevator is, that wasn't there, and there was a big winding walk around
Exactly.
ramp.
So this
And
was,
it came around that way and out here.
I thought the fountain was in the.
I don't remember.
Middle.
I was thinking the fountain was here. Maybe it was in the middle.
But I remember the steps.
But I do remember it, and I remember
went down,
I remember that you could come over here and sit on the edge of the big wall that was here,
yeah,
and you could
they
toss
had that
coins
big-
in it, and it was full of pennies.
So
and
you're
stuff.
probably right. You're probably right.
So I think the fountain was on this side, but it did have the pool coming around all the way around here.
Yes. Yes. Yes, that little
Yeah,
brick,
it came all the way around
that
here.
little brick,
and
because I
under
used to sit on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All the time.
That's right. That's right.
Okay. So this is the main court. The elevators there that were added, I think, in the early 2000s, late 90s. Used to have just a big walking ramp that came down around here, around under there, and this was all a bricked-in pool of water through here, and had the fountain right on the other side, where the carousel was. Up there was a Florsheim Shoes. Below here was a Regal Shoes. There were a lot of shoe stores in this mall.
Yep.
Getting
that's
turned
yours.
around. Okay, so that was the old Montgomery Wards.
And on the corner here was El Chico.
Okay, I thought I was remembering that right. So that is an El Chico.
Yep.
Now, was it ever anything else like an El Phoenix or something like that? I was thinking there was an
All I
El
remember
Phoenix
was
restaurant.
El Chico, and El
Okay.
Chico has been a staple in Oklahoma for
Yeah.
many years. So
Yeah.
as far as I know, I think that was always El Chico.
El Chico's, yeah.
And of course, Sam's Optical.
Sam's
right
Optical.
there
Now
in the
that wasn't
corner.
always there, was it?
It was there for a long time.
Was it? Okay.
Because malls had, eyeglass stores for years.
Yeah.
So it was
I
there.
don't. It was there. What was there in the 80s, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's okay. So here we are upstairs. That's the Montgomery Wards again. It's completely boarded up on the upper level. Now I just consulted some old photos, and it turns out that was, at least in the 70s, originally an El Phoenix restaurant, and it became an El Chico's a little bit later. Now this used to be 2 or 3 different stores. One of them had some archways on it. I think it might have been like a jewelry store or something like that. And
If you want to put the camera on that, this is probably.
oh yeah,
This brick wall.
this brick is original. Yeah,
Original. That's
This-
what would have been.
this looks
in the
very.
courtyard.
This looks very 70s, and most of the mall is made up of this sort of thing right here. You have these
That's-
slat benches and the brown.
That's the
brick
floor that was
tile.
down there.
And yeah, and I don't know if you can see that. It's that old. Yeah, it's that. Yeah, it's that kind of vinyl floor that had the dots in it.
Where the house used to be.
Yeah.
Would have been.
Yeah. So yes, there's the floor shine there again, and the yeah, right below it, where the pizza place is, in the earliest days was a Regal Shoes, as it turns out, and it became a pizza place later, maybe in the 80s. Here where the Johnny Brown is, right there where the little wooden front is, used to be a fireplace and patio shop. I think it was called Kings Row Fireplace Shop, and right next to that, in the very corner, was the county seat. So, never really shopped at county seat, but I have seen pictures of it, and so that's how I know it was there, because I'm cheating. So, okay, so big skylight again. All right, and this was, you said, was Peacock Jewelers, the big place on the corner.
Hey, buddy.
They don't know if someone's utilize something that's proprietary
Yeah, I suppose so.
business.
Yeah, we just got policed. Got stopped by the fuzz, the cops.
But keeping all things in mind,
So
we
we
were
had
able
to
to
go
do the
down to
main
the
vi-
main office to
we were
get
able to do the
permission
main
to shoot.
video. First time we were here without any interruption.
Hmm?
So I said, at
Yeah.
least you were able to do that main video.
Yeah, at least that.
Without any.
At least we got that much done. Well, we'll see if we can get permission to shoot here. We're going to the main office, and we'll see what we come up with. See, I thought this was the Garfields. Yeah. That's what I thought was the Garfields right there. How long was it a Garfields? Did it shut down recently? It looks like it's still a restaurant, or was.
Garfield's hasn't been here for years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know what it became.
I don't know what it is now, no.
I don't know what this
Or
became.
was. It's not anything now.
Garfield,
Official. So.
the fact that we built a rapport.
Yeah, we did talk to this lady earlier. We didn't know she was mall office manager. So anyway, so yeah, we went to the mall office, talked to her. Now we have permission to film here.
So we've done this.
Yeah, we've done all this. So I'm going to cut you guys off, and we'll head to where we were stopped by Johnny Law.
Hoping that this is still in working order on the last day of the mall.
Now let's see.
So you'll know it by the screens if it's
It's
working.
moving. Yeah, it's moving.
So far, so good.
Is that a good or a bad alarm?
I think it's neither. And the doors are opening. We made it out, folks.
All right, we're in one piece. Okay, well now we've been by the office, we got official permission. Now we're gonna take a look and see what we got here. Looking down this way, now this is where the big ramp used to come down here and kind of spiral into the big pool and fountain there. Okay, so that was a B. Dalton, that was a Gap, so this used to be 2 stores. There was Bath and Body Works, but it wasn't originally Bath and Body Works. I can't remember what it originally was. This is what we need now. Oh. All right. Down this way is where the KB Toys was. Some more of those original tile and slat benches. Okay. So, I don't know. You're gonna have to help me remember here. Which one of these was KB Toys? Because I can't remember which one now.
Oh,
I
there's
think
2
it was-
yellow.
yeah.
Now I don't know, but
I can't
I'm
remember-
pretty sure that the facade was protruding. So I think
Oh, was
I
it?
believe this
So
was
that
KB
was
Toys.
okay.
Yes.
One of these was KB Toys, and
I'm pretty sure this was
thinking
KB
that this
Toys
was it.
because it stood.
I don't remember the pipes and stuff. I think that was added later,
Yeah,
but for something else.
The facade protruded out of the wall.
Okay, so this
this was
might
KB
this
Toys.
might have been it.
And the toy
with that
stores are
old
always like a
yellow
like
paint
narrow
might be
and straight
original.
back. And that's what this
Yes.
store is.
Oh, yes, it was.
Yep.
Okay, that's about the right configuration.
So that was KB.
Toys. Okay. Cool.
I don't know what anything else around here was except
No, I don't remember.
down at the end was
Keep in mind we were grade
Walden
schoolers.
Books.
Yeah. That was Walden Books down there.
Walden Books is at the
Okay.
end, which is
'Cause
now,
Walden Books was the bigger of the two bookstores.
Yes.
Yeah.
which over the years, for the past 20 years, has been a train
Yeah, the
hobby shop,
Oklahoma City train, you know.
a train shop.
Well, it's not a train shop. It was
Well, no,
the,
no, no, no,
the
I'm just-
society, like the, yeah.
I'm just saying train shop. Black people, when we can't think of words, we just
Say
call
what?
the topic and put shop at the end. You know, that car place, that car shop.
The guy. Can I say that about a sex shop?
No, not with me on here on that.
Okay. Well, we do have one last swing to go through, and that's the alternate main entrance that's on the upper level. I don't remember what was here. I think they had a jewelry shop down here, a clothing shop, and obviously they had this bronze here. Still has all the bronze markings on it. Now, I don't think this was originally a bronze. Do you recall?
Yes.
Was it always a bronze? Okay. Now you can see the. Still see the bronze symbols there.
They built this specifically for bronze.
Okay. And it's obviously been abandoned for a long time. It's in pretty bad shape.
And I believe
Pretty dusty.
I believe it's shut down. I believe it's been shut down for over 20 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or at least.
The walk around of the inside, I do want to give a shout out to the channel Ready for Fun, RHETTY, Ready for Fun. They have another video on there where they walk through the mall, and they can remember a whole lot more than we can. So, and they're also talking about it from a more recent perspective. So, anyway, check them out. Check out their Crossroads Mall video. If I can, I'll link to it, so you can get more information on the mall, more footage, and more memories. But this is it, the last day, kicking on the lights for the last time. And now we'll just wait and see what happens to this place. I don't know if they're going to tear down part of it, all of it. I know a couple of the anchors are going to continue to be used, so we'll just see what comes of that. It's a big albatross of a building. It's going to be difficult to figure out what to do with it. It's going to be expensive to tear down. It's going to be expensive to update. It's going to be expensive to fill with occupants. So we'll just see what they do with it. So, on behalf of us two old farts that grew up here, with big Crossroads.
Yes, on behalf of two natives that enjoyed patronizing this wonderful mall for what, nearly
Well, for
40?
us, 20 years.
Yeah,
but for everybody, 40 years.
yeah. So overall, for nearly 40 years that this mall has been in effect, we both say farewell.
So long.
Crossroads.
And thank you guys
And
for
thanks for
listening
watching.
in. Absolutely.
This is all him.